Well, here in the United States, there are more than 3.5 million sports-related injuries for teens and children every year. So to help cut those odds down, we are joined by Dr. Jon Driscoll, an orthopedic surgeon from Central Connecticut. Thanks for being with us, Dr. Driscoll.
Thanks for having me, Erica.
All right, so we have not had a lot of winter, so a lot of people who might be out there doing a lot of winter sports and activities aren't doing as much, but it's still a concern because people aren't necessarily maybe doing it here. Some are, but they're also traveling and doing it, especially, we've got break coming up.
Yes, that's true. So we haven't had much winter here, but some of the ski areas are still having some skiers there. The temperatures haven't been too compatible with that, but it's still important to look at ways to prevent injuries when you are participating in winter sports.
What are some of those ways?
So when we talk about winter sports, we're talking primarily about skiing, snowboarding, ice skating, and sledding. And ways to prevent injuries are to make sure that you, first of all, with winter sports, you never want to do them alone. You want to make sure you're with somebody so that if you do sustain an injury, that they can get you to appropriate medical help in a timely fashion. Other ways are making sure that you're well hydrated, drinking water before, during, and after any sports activity is very important. It's much more likely to have injuries, sprains, strains when you're not hydrated. In addition, making sure you warm up your muscles. These days we talk more about dynamic stretching than static stretching, so within the course of exercising.
Now, if you do have a fall at some point, when do you know that when should you know that you should go to the doctor? Because some people might fall, maybe take a small fall skiing or ice skating and think, oh, I just twisted my ankle, twisted my knee. What are the signs that it's more than that and that they should really seek medical attention?
That's a great question because there are a lot of people who want to avoid going to the doctors these days.
Right.
I always tell my patients that I would rather you come in and have it be less than to have you ignore something that was bigger. Typically, if you hear a pop or a snap, that's something that you would want to pay attention to.
Absolutely, right.
And your body tells you when something is wrong with both pain and also with swelling.
And then what should folks do immediately if they do have an injury? Say it happens on the weekends, they're not going to get in until Monday, maybe Tuesday. What should they be doing more immediately?
So it's important to ice and elevate, but you're absolutely right that in the past you couldn't get in places on the weekends unless you went to an emergency department. But nowadays we have walk-in centers. In fact, we have our own walk-in center in Wallingford, and they are open on Saturdays and Sundays for people who don't have injuries that are quite as severe that it would require an emergency department.
And what type of things are able to be done there as far as, do you have x-rays and MRI machines? We
do have x-rays.
Okay.
So we do have x-rays, we have braces, we have slings. So it's really our own office, and it's a walk-in center where people who are injured come in and they get the same care you would during the week seeing the doctor.
So it is an orthopedic urgent care center.
It is.
All right. And what about other injuries as we're heading into the spring? It sort of opens the door to more sports and more potential injuries for folks.
Right. So a lot of the injuries that I see are sports-related injuries as a sports medicine specialist. And these include anterior cruciate ligament tears, shoulder dislocations. So the important way to prevent those types of injuries is making sure that you build yourself up in any activity that you're going to do. Don't start too fast, too quickly, because that's when your muscles are going to give way and your body's going to break down.
Right. A lot of people see the nice weather, although we have had it recently, and get really excited and just kind of go gung-ho, but you should really sort of ease your way back into something if you haven't been doing it in several months, right?
Absolutely. That's the most important thing.
All right, Dr. Driscoll, thanks so much. I appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.